Hello and welcome to Let's Plays Disco Elysium Part 10. So, I think we had spoken to this young lady about everything. Yep, looks like it. So let's head into the store. We said we were going to talk to her mother, so... The clerk extends a greeting. A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber. So I can ask her for money? We need that, so frankly I'm going to ask everybody for money. She gives you a disapproving look. Oh. So, are you the owner of this store? Her voice is high-pitched, as if to give it more penetration. She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work. The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? She blinks. I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir. Doesn't feel like it's thriving, feels ghostly. Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post, doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store. 10. She's certainly very polite and helpful. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. All this pressure has made her really anxious. You know she's been chewing her nails? God. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. Her voice is firm. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. A part of hers, too, clearly. I don't think she can do anything about it. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, Mum. It's obvious she can't do anything about it, says Kim. You're placing an unnecessary burden on your young child. Okay. What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything. She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy. All of a sudden she exhales sharply. Her shoulders slump down. Oh no, she mutters. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There, she returns with a nod. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. She stops, but her mouth keeps moving. It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette. Ooh, do I say that to her? You're like Annette to your husband and your mother. Oh, she nudges her glasses nervously. Well, my mother was horrible, of course, absolutely perverse energies around that person, but my husband, she shakes her head. My husband is completely different, of course. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. Placence nods. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary situation, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. And hell freezes over? Never mind, it's not a good topic to get into. Is this husband Annette's father? Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here, she says gloomily. No matter, soon we'll both be off for the Grand Couronne. Wait, Grand Couronne? What's that? It's a proper place to live, one of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. Her smile is wide. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore? He made the initial investment. Since then he's been what you might call a silent partner. Is Annette an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had. She pauses for a second. No, we couldn't have afforded more children really, not in this economy. Why not? We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I, quite busy. Her voice wavers a bit. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. She catches herself at impoliteness. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand. All right, I had something else in mind. The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette. What if I want to buy a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy something? She fiddles with her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves there? Go, be drawn. So, what type of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't they? She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about books. Do you even know what books you have for sale? She scoffs. Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff, with well-written prose. But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. Where do you learn about the important things then? The truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand. She nods at you cryptically. All right, I'll take a look then. She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved. Farewell for now, book peddler. Okay. You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter. What are you doing now? Math. She looks into her notebook with trepidation. It's really difficult, like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Suddenly she smiles and perks up, remembering something. Oh! I found something while you were away. What is it? It's a hat. I thought it would fit you. She gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me, the city, I mean. Like a detective does. A detective hat? Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time, she grins. You'll look way more serious with that. Suddenly she looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mom notices. Man, this is hard. Okay, see you around, Annette. Ooh, we got a hat. Let's have a look at the hat. Oh, it gives us encyclopedia. We like encyclopedia. It does seem like a much better hat for us to be wearing. Right. Let's look around. A mountain of board games, a small mountain of colourful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral related merchandise. Let's have a look through it. An endless variety of source books, law books and codices litter the table. The topmost book is entitled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hard-bound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katuak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Whelk Crag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? Anything that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements module. The side panel notes a fantastique adventure board game. New maps and miniatures, a sticker on display, 25 real. Well, shouldn't be surprised. The price is steep, but that's a 3rd edition Mega Setting supplement, so it makes sense. Storekeep, what board games do you have here? Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturalist is a classic for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos in Insulitude, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritta is a fun game of economic competition, but can be quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or a family? Wow. I have children, a family. It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you. Ooh. Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit, and technically friends are a bit like family. She fiddles her pendant. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainy. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. What about all these Wirral things? Lousy auras there, she shudders. No role-playing games are popular amongst those types, you know, who are into those kinds of things. Personally, I don't like it, not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts, that they have rituals where they try to summon entities, highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them though. She looks at the table, crossing her arms. Well, sadly, we don't have enough money for either of those things, or I would certainly dive into them if I could. gaming within the game. Why not indeed? Okay. So I feel like poking at these mysterious curtains. Closed curtains. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains. Examine the strange cage-like pendant. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron, assembled from bones, sticks and straws. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of this, it's a traditional Seminese ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and all other supernatural scourges. And who are the Seminese? Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminoan Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains? Nothing! Now please go back to browsing books. She fiddles with her pendant. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Let's try and pull them open. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for customers. Her hand was closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? But I sense this place calling to me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaken. My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Is this about the curse? That's why you're afraid? No, it's just a storeroom for employees. I've told you. Now please step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. Mum, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go in there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. All right. I'll think about it for a while. Thank you. The shopkeeper lets out a loud sigh. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you as if taunting you. Okay, we'll walk away from them for now. So, okay, we were doing a rigorous self-critique in our brain for the moment. We could. I don't think we can internalize any other thoughts until we've finished our current thought. Or maybe we have to unlock more spaces. Have to get more leveled up. Okay. So let's talk to her about that. Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. I already told you it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. If it's just a storage room, then why is there a Seminoles ward protecting it? Just for decoration. She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile. Then something breaks. Oh, fine. It's because this place is cursed, just like Annette said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing. Have you sought help from anyone? Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Seminoles mediators. They provided me with the wards. She nods at the strange, cage-like trinket on the curtains. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough. Is your pendant part of the wards as well? Oh, this? She holds the pendant in her palm. Its ochre heart glistens under the lights. No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. She nods. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%. Desert pygmy shamans? That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people. How does this curse manifest itself? A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around in the dimly lit store. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease eating at the very foundation. Her voice drops to a whisper. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. She peers at the curtains again. Didn't that curtain just move? Ah. Annette mentioned that the previous tenants had experienced some financial troubles. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacao demons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Sounds familiar. Strange, I feel unwanted too. What does it mean? Truly so? Her eyes narrow as she tries to get a read on your energy. Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. Why didn't you tell me about this curse right away? It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism. She shivers. It's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them. Void wraiths? You have new words. Would you like me to take the case? I can investigate, see if the curse is real. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be so they can return to their slumber. My liege, you know what this case calls for? A paradetective. So I can convince her to let me investigate, and I'm very likely to succeed. Let's go for it. Yes. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like. Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Are you sure? She looks sceptical. Don't think I've seen charlatans before. Oh, don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. I have returned from the void, a para-detective from a long line of para-detectives. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one, and you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but you look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then, rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes. You see, it's necessary to drink the spirits in order to contact the void. How do you know all this? Here we go. Your wards brought me here in the first place. The Seminese blood also runs through me. Your part Seminese? Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. But I'm not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us, keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me. I could have pulled Kim into it, but I'm not sure if he's, well, as good at this sort of thing. She shuffles nervously. If you promise, good officer, then... She pauses. You might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Hand on your heart. On my honour. Thank you, sir. A timid sigh of relief followed by a cautious smile. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity. Do not act surprised. You know these things, sire. Of course, the entity, for I have sensed its presence. You have? She gasps. The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course. Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here, the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked around. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there. Unbelievable. Darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some old office space. Don't be scared. Farewell for now. Okay, it's getting fairly late. I'm not sure whether the best thing is to investigate this straight away. We can sleep at 9 o'clock, and it's very close to 9. However, we still have nowhere near like enough money. But I believe sometime in the evening the kitchen opens or something. Some dining room, but an additional area to be sure. Oh yes, these doors are open. These ones were supposed to open as well, but they don't seem to have at the moment. The dishes are drying. They smell of chemicals and pine trees. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the colour. Blue is for mystery. I wonder where this door leads. You do? The lieutenant regards you with patient scepticism. It's a door to the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? I'm drawn to its cobalt blue. We're out of... Yes, we should say this. Out of duty. We may find something pertinent to the investigation. Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in, just to be thorough, as a side investigation. Yes, a mini side investigation. He looks at you, then at the door. Garte is the person to ask about this, the cafeteria manager. Touch it. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to the touch. The stainless steel is door flush with its frame on every side. Push it. It does not budge. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air. Who is this? Gorasi Quebec. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods towards the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you make out are Gorasi and Quebec. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Gorasi Quebec. Please, it's not funny. Hello, sir? Got time for a few questions? The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. Do you know what's behind the door? He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. You've got some impressive pots here. He smiles and bangs his ladle even. He bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove. Okay, I don't think I need to say anything else. Stay masculine? Is this a whole cooking is a feminine thing? Jeez. Ooh, is this a bottle we can acquire? Right. Let us talk to Gautier again. I've seen something here at the Whirling, Garte. Something I need to talk about. What thing? He rolls his eyes. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen. Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it, it's just a door, he shrugs. Do you know what's behind it? Do you have... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just the Freet warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust. He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt. He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. I think you'd like to know what's back there. Fine, okay, a little, he shrugs. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key. So good luck with that. I saw a sign that said the mess hall is reserved for the Union. Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God, just the nastiest and loudest faction. He tosses his head in disdain. They come here in the evenings, dumb and ruly types, think they're big shit, but they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time. He gives you a meaningful nod. We could find out who this loud faction is. Occupying the booth, loudness means talkative. And we need info, says Kim. How do we find them? We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. He looks towards the booth. Men are hungry. Even men on strike. It's after 4. The sign said, reserved starting 4 o'clock. Why isn't anyone in the mess hall? Good question. He turns to the cafeteria manager. They're probably getting drunk, or protesting something somewhere, or laying low after the, lynching. Whatever he may feel about you, he can't miss the opportunity to throw you a look of what he assumes is shared understanding. Go with it. Yes, I think I see. The Union guys think they're untouchable. They're probably fucking killed that guy or something. And now they think they can hide out until it all blows over, and it's fair weather again in Martinez. The lieutenant thinks. I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later. There's something else I want to ask about. What? You feel like you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later. Is the trash container out back yours? Mine? No, it belongs to the whirling in rags. Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked? Asks Kim. Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out, that's why. And the neighbours too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company. I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container? Well, yes, us and the garbage disposal company. It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. I wonder what this feeling is. Prod at him and find out. Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor? Callous? What are you? Krasmazov? Almost all establishments in Revicol keep their trash locked. The whirling in rags is not special in that regard. Krasmazov, nom de Dieu, I cannot read that, sorry, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism. No, I'm no Krasmazov. No one is implying you were, officer. Where were we? We need those keys. What do you need them for? It concerns the case. The lieutenant's voice is harsh and sudden. Please cooperate. Garte takes the keys from under the counter and hands them to you. Just bring them back once you're done, please. By the way, I'm going to sing karaoke here. Absolutely out of the question. You wait and see, cafeteria manager. Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger, then we sing this place to shit. Your body is ready, sire. Goodbye for now. Right. Did we get another object? Not obviously. I think we'll head out back to the bins. It's probably not a great idea to get the body down before we go to bed. And yes, Revicol is pronounced Revachol. I'm probably never going to quite get that. Okay. Now doing it's the end of the day. Let's try and achieve something. Right, we will open the padlock with the key. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't! Maybe you shouldn't. Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there? There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow and your hand is still on the lid. Let's open the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. We're just in time. The lieutenant peers in. This hasn't been emptied for over a week. Okay, look under the boxes of cartons. You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below and turbo noodles, nothing of note however. Okay, pick up the rags. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eyes. A pair of denim trousers? Grab them. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air. Oh! The victim's clothes? The lieutenant smells them. Cadaverine odour is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Drop them in here, officer. Bag the trousers. Kim quickly searches the jeans. Guitar mark blue jeans, pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt too, a wide belt. The loops appear stretched, but he looks into the container. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Something slimy catches your eye. Reach for it. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-coloured, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus. Ooh, bag it, quick, quick, bag it. This is a military-type overgarment, no label or serial number. This is the kind of rib shirt knit that's worn over light armour to conceal it in an urban scenario. He nods to himself. Anything more? The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug catches your eye, but other than that, a thrown out towel, a mug, that's all. Alright, says Kim. We should go to Gautier again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hotel cleaning the yard, or that one, he nods to the red-haired boy. I'd advise against confronting that force. You think someone from the Whirling might have been involved, maybe? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread. Okay. The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. Search the food waste. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy in your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly, unidentified sludge and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But, hey! Nothing, it's nothing, nothing more to see here. What's this? What? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Pick it out. Something larger. Clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting. Officer, is that your paperwork? I don't know what this is. Ooh. It is, look. He points to the clipboard. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? Whoa. I think I'd rather not talk about it right now. Understood, he nods, reverting his attention to the container, still stinking in front of you. The mug. I'm getting the mug too. You pick out the broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. An antique? Only in its social sensibility. Right, taking it anyway. Kim briefly glances at the mug, then returns his sight to the trash. Close it. The container sounds a muffled gong. That's one thing off the list. The lieutenant sounds relieved. I think we got it all. You said you didn't want to talk about the ledger. However, now that you have it back, it would not hurt to start taking notes on the case, officially. Okay, so we could have a look at the yellow mug. That seems the most innocent object at the moment. Yellow man mug. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. It's quite a lot to read here, actually. Look at all that content. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage? Right, so I think we'll go with the first one. This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective. I'll be honest, I just really want to pawn it. Let's have a look at our ledger. It's a ledger you found in the trash, a pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Anything else? There's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it a cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetic's terror, do not look into its blue heart. Blimey. Browse the white papers. They're not exactly white, they're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolour patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organised and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What's in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. There are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51 this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. Is 2 cases a week a good case load, Lieutenant? He raises his nose from his notes. 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. Nod and return to the case notes. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Okay. There was a mention of a naming convention? Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins, yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might even say. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Oh my, they're written in capital letters too. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural, another The Square Bullet Hole Murders, another yet The Unsolvable Case. More? Others appear more light-hearted. The Guys on a Couch in an Unexpected Location, and The Murder at the Hookah Parlour. Even the rare article-free Collapsing Tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Later, once you're done inspecting them up close. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. You mean the alphanumeric officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? I mean a non-numeric one, with titles. Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defence, almost everyone at the RCM does. Why's that? It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution when the organisation had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. I seem to have one named The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defence, I seem to have one named The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. He smiles. I pray his loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spike through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. Okay, count the pages. I have an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking down the case into sub-tasks to accomplish. Once all these tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Commit to paper. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. Kim, do you have a pen? The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one, although he really doesn't want to. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them. Can I have one? Know that I give you this with resentment. He pulls one from the loop. With this beauty, commit to paper. The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand and cannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigour and simplicity. Inspect victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. Cross out the ones you've already finished. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually. Any ideas? Let's go with the Furies are at home in the mirror. Furies? Yes. Well, it's obvious he doesn't like it. I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to, and also he furrows his brow. Could we make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know. Think, what would that be? A good, normal name. Yes, yes. You know what that normal name is. It's so plain. Anything else, please. Okay, the Hanged Man. Great, that's great. That's exactly what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Task complete. Read your leisure. Name the case. Okay, Kim flips the pages of his notebook. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. I'm done inspecting these. Close the case files. So I'm putting that away for now. Seems like a significant moment. We have named the case. We'll find out more about our interesting police notes next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to share and subscribe and all that jazz. Farewell.